We are all even at one apiece after a dominating performance by LDLC and XMS in particular to take us to Cobblestone. This should be a much closer affair, but as expected, Fnatic Academy came up short on Overpass.
Yeah, I mean, it was always going to be LDLC's map in pretty much everyone's eyes, I think. Just a better proven record on that map. But now we come into Cobblestone where it's a little bit more even ground. I mean, you have to remember that Cobblestone is where Fnatic Academy started getting some cool results on, right? They beat Rogue and Heroic at ESWC on this map, Cobblestone. Meanwhile, LDLC, yeah, they've had a couple of good results on it, but it's not like it's a dominating map for them like Overpass was. So, I mean, I definitely think this is going to be a cool battleground to really see, like, the true grit of these teams. Like, who really wants it? Who really wants to move on to those semifinals tomorrow? This is going to be a really cool, just, you know, court, so to speak, to see them fight on.
I think Cobblestone might be one of the best maps to actually watch these two in a deciding map. I mean, I think Overpass was a bit of a snooze fest for a lot of people, as it was very slow. Both sides incredibly slow on their T side, but in particular, Fnatic Academy didn't seem to have that certain X factor when it came towards the executors themselves. And LDLC, their CT side looked impenetrable at some points. I think they only lost 1 or 2 rounds on their CT side throughout. So Cobblestone, it's a map where I feel the terrorists have a lot more potential to execute onto sites and to get a lot more rounds anyway. It's a more balanced map in that sense than Overpass is. So I think that should lend itself more to Fnatic Academy anyway.
I think we should see a faster paced game here. I think we should see like some of those typical like really heavy B executes, like really big battles on that side of the map. Definitely something that we saw a lot out of from LDLC when they played against Heroic, like really just crazy coordinated B executes, lots of utility. And so I'm sure we'll see that again here from LDLC as we are going to be live with the pistol round. It's Map 3, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to move on to the semis? Will it be LDLC or will it be Fnatic Academy?
LDLC certainly will be favorites coming through into this, but can Fnatic Academy prove to be a roadblock too far? Karas with 2 beautiful frags, but not able to get any more. His damage and his work has been done. Jay's Walkings does come through. The doors lands another one. Tap Alex goes down. And Fnatic Academy, we saw them start very slow on Overpass, or very fast on Overpass, pardon me, and then slow down somewhat. Maybe we're going to see more of the same here on Cobblestone.
Yeah, grinding out these pistol rounds definitely what you need because it can be difficult to hold sites, and it's, like I said, very hard to get information on the CT side, so getting the rounds early on is definitely going to be beneficial. It's one of those maps that does lean towards the T side, so if you can get that 3-0 start, it's definitely going to help you out in the long run on Cobblestone, as we are going to see, of course, LDLC go ahead and get onto those Tech 9s. No bomb plant in the first round, so just looking to see if they can't get some armor out, some nades, see if they can't take a shot at this A bomb site. Mistu, the normal B lurker here, just putting a little bit of a nade on to drop down room, maybe just trying to put a little bit of presence there, but certainly A is the focus.
For the time being, it will be. It's kind of a declaration of intent now. They're all going to be charging through along. Jay's Walkings is going to get the spray, partially flashed and smoked off. And Bottom will do the rest with the UMP. So this rush is going nowhere fast. LDLC are coming up against an adversary a little bit too strong. It's just the SMGs remain. Plessner's going to switch out for the M4 and keep the assault rifle in play.
And that's just business as usual, basically, for Fnatic Academy. Obviously, not much to work with when you're LDLC in that round. This one's going to be even more limited, but it's that next round that we're really looking out for, right? When you see those rifles come into LDLC's hands, when you see them get their full nade set, something that they really like utilize more than really any other team. Like I said, just very nade heavy on their executes. We saw it yesterday on the B-bomb site. We'll probably see it again here today. That's kind of the moment that we're really waiting for. As, I mean, Fnatic Academy here, just trying to make sure they don't lose too much in this round. Like, they want to make sure they don't get picked off, which, I mean, it is just clocks. So, shouldn't happen, of course.
Yeah, LDLC suffering a strong case of Glock blocked. XMS down to 48.
We've really gone down that path, haven't we?
Perhaps.
It was glove popping yesterday. Now it's this.
I think after LDLC's performance in the last map, they've already gone down multiple paths for Fnatic Academy. Let's see if they can bounce back, though. Molly's going to block the push. And with a lack of Kevlar, or really anything to play with, LDLC are about to feel the sting of the UMP. Karas with the spray. Going to deliver 1 kill. LDLC do actually have to contend with a flank as well. I think it's Bottom who's coming all the way around the back. with the UMP. There we go, double sprays. It's raining terrorists. And XMS is going to be shortly to follow. Only 1 HP actually on bottom though, so he could end up going down to the Glock. Just 1 bullet, XMS! Rip.
Now here's what we've been waiting for. Here's where hopefully things start getting spicy. You're a mess, man. Get it together.
LDLC are going to be going for a buy, and Existence actually goes for the Tech 9 so we could afford more nades. Wow, okay. I can see you shaking your head. I'm a little bit stunned by this buy. I expected to see a lot more AKs.
Indeed, I did as well.
Go for a Mac 10, but there's no headless armored Fnatic plays, and it's unlikely they would go for a lack of head armor here. They've won the last 3 rounds convincingly. Okay. I mean, we saw double AWP pickup on the T side yesterday from LDLC, so I suppose nothing should be a surprise at this stage. They've already gone through the fair bulk of their utility. Alex is going to land the headshot onto Karis as they do push through, but again, it's just a case of Fnatic Academy swatting them away.
Yeah, it was a situation where it seemed like LDLC was sacrificing firepower for more utility. Again, we talked about how reliant they are on that to set themselves up for their executes to try to, flush CTs out of position or allow them to catch a CT blind and be able to push that short area. I mean, particularly by tree, we saw XMS using that to great value yesterday, but yeah, not getting really anything out of that one. Fnatic Academy, really close it down, being able to get some good positioning and just out frag LDLC. And so now LDLC just on some upgraded pistols. We do have 4 Deagles in play actually from LDLC. We certainly saw them put it to use on overpass in one particular round in the first half there. So see if they can't find something similar.
So more Kevlar, more potential of picks in this round, but LDLC, in terms of their longer game on this half, I mean, could be hamstringing themselves somewhat with these buys. Fnatic Academy just waiting for a push, and LDLC electing to potentially push both sides simultaneously. They've got both Mistu and Existence over on the B side. Alex, as we can see from his perspective, with Twanu is trying to occupy long, and the bomb is coming through mid. A few smokes to play with, a Molotov and a HE. But this round is going to somewhat of a standstill once more.
Yeah, you can see that they're trying to get some control of A halls and try to get some vision onto this A bomb site. They do still have some presence over here towards drop down. Mistu, but he gets caught with a nade out. Cars with the UMP there is going to get the headshot, and so now LDLC, all they have as an option is this A side now, but Fnatic Academy making the proper rotations. A couple players already inside the site as well.
Nice shot by Jace Walkings. 20 seconds left now to kill for Fnatic Academy or just XMS, which is surely the easier of the 2 options. 15 seconds. XMS has got to get a move on. Does land the one tap into the back of Golden's head. But Fnatic Academy do take a brisk 5-0 lead. So deja vu from Overpass, but as we mentioned previously, Cobblestone is a lot more favorable towards Fnatic Academy than Overpass was.
Certainly, again, we were talking about how some of their bigger results that they've gotten that have kind of maybe caught people's attention. A lot of that has come off of the back of the Cobblestone, particularly that best-of-3 win against Heroic included in Cobblestone victory. So certainly a map they're a little bit more well-versed on, you'd imagine. And it's definitely shaping up pretty well for them thus far. Up 5-0 from the CT side, so it's definitely looking good. Botan going to get a boost, something you don't see that often, so certainly could catch LDLC off guard. As we do see them, fairly spread out. Again, just playing default. This is about as default as it gets. Alex looking to control A halls with Toy News op. In the meantime, you're seeing Mistu with drop, Existence and XMS playing B platform. So this is like one of the openings they like to go to if they're not looking for just a straight up B execute with all their nade set. Right at this point, they're just looking to see if Toy News can't sniff something out with the op. Control A, deny information, give yourselves all the options on the table. As we do see Mistu do, in fact, get into the drop-down room. And XMS actually catches aggression from Pleasant, so this is definitely helping out LDLC's cause.
It's all about this boost, though. If Botan can tee off kills, but he doesn't. It's Alex that comes out ahead. Well,
doing the worm?
Doing the worm in the Molotov. Okay. A for effort. You're still dead, though, mate. Golden could get the drop on Twanu, and indeed will do just that. Spins his attention to Mistu. A bridge too far. And LDLC will get themselves on the board. I'd love to see a replay of that worm in the fire. That was so weird.
Yeah, that's definitely not something I've seen at all, ever. There it is.
Oop. Okay, then.
Oh, yeah, get the scrub in. Exactly what we needed. Brilliant job there from the production team as LDLC double op on the T side again. We saw this yesterday, didn't really succeed in it. So rare to see it. Like I said, the only teams I really ever see do double op on T side is Mouse Sports and occasionally Virtus Pro. It's not something that you see every day. And it definitely can set you back if it doesn't work out. So hopefully LDLC is going to find something here. Since using his to play off the B platform, Toynu at mid per usual. Fnatic Academy not showing themselves though.
Yeah, not really going for the fast flanks unless they know it's just against pistols and they're very weak in LDLC, but double up set up. Toynu in existence. Didn't pay off for them yesterday. Has paid off for them so far as Toynu will get the opening pick, breaks the deadlock onto Jay's walking side. Is the primary upper dead?
Look at this, Alex is already inside the A side. This guy Botan has no idea that this is gonna happen. Yeah, he absolutely just slipped through Botan, and so that made things very awkward. But now Alex, you know, not keeping up on things. Botan's gonna get the better of him, so it kind of cancels each other out. But in the meantime, we have a 4-on-2, and B-bomb side is controlled by LDLC. Plus, it's gonna have to go huge here to reel this one back in. That's a nice start to it, gets XMS down. Now a 2v3, unable to find more, but Botan has found a frag on the A side. Now he's in a 1v2, and both those players are pretty low on HP. Oh my goodness, what's going on?
Misty could burn to a crisp, but he has to come out into the open, and Botan's gonna go for the spray. Misty lands the one tap with just about 15, 16 health. Oh, that's so brutal, but LDLC, by a slither, will pick up another round.
That was a scary round for LDLC, I think. I mean, you think things are going great when you get that opening op pick at A Halls and Alex able to slip into the A bomb site, catch someone completely off guard at balcony. Like, things are shaping up so great, and then you do have these couple of kills come in for Fnatic Academy that, you know, really made it a threatening round, but they will take it. So that's 2 in a row. Fnatic Academy now just on upgraded pistols. You see them putting a little bit of a focus here on the mid slope. Looked like they wanted to stack there for a moment, but they do begin to shuffle some players over towards that B side of the map. And Golden getting some damage in on Toynu with that Deagle.
Yeah, Toynu's getting railed from mid there for a few moments. Nearly did flick on through the smoke. And Golden takes a little bit of a love tap himself, down to 75. Botan, meanwhile, has CZ up close and personal. Can be devastating at this kind of a range. Existence is going to molly the left-hand side from his perspective. Botan on the right did fire a couple of bullets away, so it's going to alert LDLC to his presence, but he's still going to be ripping through one frag. Golden, meanwhile, with 2 Deagle kills, and Karis finishes it off.
What a nightmare situation there for LDLC. You're just up against the upgraded pistols, but they play straight into it, trying to force something on the A side of the map. Does not work out at all. And so now you see Fnatic Academy putting another point on the board. And again, they have a strong CT side coming together right now. You can see LDLC just on Tech 9s in this round. So if Fnatic Academy can keep this up, this is going to get very uncomfortable for LDLC, you'd imagine.
I thought Fnatic had gone past the point of making this a very comfortable half when they lost that previous one with Nistu's one tap, but they've salvaged it and then some. LDLC in all sorts of trouble. Tech 9 with careful are certainly a composition of weaponry that can charge through onto the site and cause Fnatic a lot of problems themselves. And it's going to be Existence this time. It's typically XMS that started to push down these kind of situations before. Toynu lands the Tech 9 frag onto Karis. Plester's going to go for the spray, and Golden's there alongside him. Everybody getting a kill in that round for Fnatic Academy, a team ace. And they do manage to fend off the Tech 9 rush.
Fnatic Academy handling things very well right now, 7-2, but we are going to see a full buy out of LDLC. I'm curious to know if they'll go towards that heavy utility B execute soon. It'd be very difficult to deal with, and in fact, they're just trying to save up for that, you know, just Glocks this time around. So, you know, they've really been a victim of the force buying not working out, and, you know, that double out setup was very expensive, and they didn't really build off of that too much. They do get a frag here inside the mid room, but there is Botan to take care of things. So Fnatic Academy well on their way to extending the lead here in just a moment.
Karis going to come down to bolster the defense in mid. Will cost him his life. Does allow Botan to throw out a smoke. And LDLC unlikely to push through that for the time being. They are going to get Existence on long. Remember, it was Existence who teed off on Cobblestone yesterday. Golden's taking quite a bit of damage on the escape from the murder hole. Existence going to be undeterred by the flashbang. Plenty time on the board for Mistu. Did he just see a player in mid? I swear he caught the backside of somebody there. I thought he could have peeked out, maybe got the frag. Instead, he calls it for Existence, who goes in with a kill of his own. They need to be very wary, though, because they are going to get flanked themselves from Plessen, who misses out on his opportunity. It's still very difficult for LDLC to get this clutch when it's two AKs up against the P250 and AWP, and Existence is missing out on a couple of opportunities, cost him his life and potentially LDLC the round. A brave effort, all things considered, but LDLC will go 2-8 behind.
Starting to get a little bit scrappy here. Seeing some of these force buys being a little bit difficult on their opponents. I mean, it is Fnatic Academy coming up with that one, though. They don't allow LDLC to steal that one away. But now we should be seeing a full buy come out of LDLC, and this is where they should be able to have a better time. They will get one op in play onto Toynu. Plenty of utility, so this is where they could go to their tried and true B hit, but certainly has seen some pretty nifty executes out of them as well, so can't really know for sure. For now, they'll just open default. We are going to see that boost coming into effect again by Fnatic Academy to kick things off.
Yeah, that's the odd thing, isn't it? Yesterday we saw them hit B a good 9 or 10 times. This time we haven't really seen it a single time, not fully at least. So from one extreme to the other, it seems like. Now they just want to avoid the B hit like the plague. They're going to go into drop zone a lot more.
Yeah, you're seeing Alex get really forward on the A side of things. He got A Hall's control pretty early from Danger, and now he's already begun to start creeping up to actually get some vision onto the bomb site. Toynu there going to be with the op as well, so we could definitely see a skirmish going down on this A side of the map as the peek comes in and Jaywalking takes the better end of it, and meanwhile the B bomb site's also been cleared out, so just everything stacking against LDLC at this point. XMS the last man left.
And Fnatic Academy already in a position to get more rounds on Cobblestone than they did on Overpass at such an early stage of the map. That's how dominant they've been so far. XMS is going to go down next to the hands of Golden, who really seems to have stepped things up here on Cobblestone. That's another 3K for him. And I'm a little bit lost for words. LDLC are getting battered.
Yeah, they're not finding their comfort zone at all on this map. Just getting straight up bodied right now by Fnatic Academy is really the best way to put it. And they're just getting absolutely shut down all across the map. They're not finding any openings. They tried playing default. They haven't really found much. They've tried a couple of plays here and there, and again, it just hasn't really netted them anything. This round, again, just the Tech-9's in play. So Fnatic Academy looking towards double ditch on the CT side, which that's so massive. I mean, that's a crazy uphill climb that LDLC is going to have to make from this point forward to get back in this game, as they are going to look for the B-Execute. But again, these B-Executes have come on these types of pistol rounds, not really anything with full rifles.
And typically in prior B executes, they're much more aggressive out the broken wall and B platform. This time it's more of a split through the window onto the A site. Now, Jaywalking's position is so compromised at this stage. It's going to take something unbelievable to get out of it. He's just going to put the drive-by 5-7. 2 bullets to the domes of Toynu and Mistu. And he's still alive to fight the good fight for Fnatic Academy. But Alex is going to put another twist and turn maybe in this tale yet. Spots Jaywalking, starts to do a bit of damage to him, picks up the M4. He doesn't have the bomb, otherwise he'd love to scurry across the B at this stage, trying to tap his way to victory on Golden. And have another crack at it, and indeed he will take him down on this time of asking. So Jaywalkings, what have you got in store? Are you going to pull off some kind of craziness with the AWP? 35 seconds. Alex has spotted the head, and there's Jaywalkings connecting. And you can see the look of disbelief as he just wrecks players with a 5-7. And how brutal must that be for LDLC?
Yeah, this was a crazy kind of round because that connector split is certainly difficult to deal with. And then you have Alex on top of that, getting himself into a very manageable 1v2, gets it into the 1v1 because he picked up that M4, but Jaywalking's able to put the op to good use and put a 10th round on the board for Fnatic Academy. So a huge lead. And yeah, now Existence has to take a bit of a timeout here and think things through. Again, I feel like we haven't really seen them go to like these executes they really favor. Anytime they've hit B, it's been with a limited buy, so you haven't really seen like their full-fledged attack. So that could be something that they want to try actually putting in now that they actually are going to have some money here soon to be able to actually do a full buy and really work that to its fullest extent. But again, you could maybe see them even try to put heavy numbers at A. We've only really seen them just open default, like just a normal 2-3 split. Which again, kind of uncharacteristic for them. And we've actually seen it throughout this entire series. It just seems like they've been a little bit more reserved than what I normally see out of them.
What would you attribute that to? Because it's very odd to see. I thought coming into this, LDLC would have the massive tactical edge, but it actually seems as though, especially on Cobblestone, it's been Fnatic Academy that have been a step or two ahead of existence. He's been seemingly a little bit toothless on their aggressive rounds.
It almost seems like he's just trying to be a little bit uncharacteristic, maybe just to try to throw them off. Like maybe maybe this team realizes, okay, we watched you play Cobblestone against Heroic yesterday. We saw what you were doing, and we're going to take some measures to counter that or to be better prepared for those types of executes. And so it's one of those, just the mind games that happen. Maybe it's just thinking, okay, like they're expecting this, so I want to try something different, or I want to make sure I have all my options on the table. I want to be able to just do like more mid-round reading, you know, be able to get a pick here or there, maybe get a little bit of map control. Because the thing is, if you're Terrace and you get control of A halls and you push those players back into the A bomb site, it's almost impossible for them to ever actually rotate towards B. So you almost always had the defense split between those 2 guys at A, the 3 guys at B, and then you can just kind of work your numbers from there. Like we talked about how Cobblestone on the CT side is so difficult, and they're trying to take advantage of that, but they haven't really been able to do it thus far. I mean, you've really been able to see this Fnatic Academy CT side come up in a big way. That guy's just getting in that dab, man. He's just not letting up.
I'm waiting for him to try and dab and like headbutt the bottle and just smash it.
Yeah. That was definitely a possibility.
Either way, so it could be LDLC getting in their own head a little bit too much for existence. But let's see if they can stabilize. 10-5, best case scenario, wouldn't be the end of the world on the T half of Cobblestone. Definitely not what LDLC were hoping for. But that is all that they have in their sights at this stage.
Yeah, again, opening default, not really changing anything just yet, but again, the round is young. They do want to just get control of A halls once more, but maybe they have a different idea about how they want to approach the mid-round. So maybe that's where you can actually see that timeout come into effect and start seeing some adjustments being made by existence here. As Jaywalkings has that op trained on long A. He's waiting for the moment that peek comes through from Toy New, and this duel could be how this round is set up.
The advantage is again surely in the hands of Fnatic Academy as they have more nades across the board. But bottom has been dropped. Jaywalkings, he's going to get the 1 kill. XMS and Existence are coming in. So this is much more like what we're expecting to see from LDLC. Round hasn't quite been wrapped up just yet, but it's as close as it could possibly be. With just 13 health on Golden. Unlucky for some. Very unlikely to cause LDLC any issues here, though. And he's pretty much stuck in this situation as well. I mean, looking for exit frags, he can't hope to push out on the site and get the outright defuse. Maybe if a couple players feed him the kills. He saw the shadow on the floor before XMS peaked, but XMS was up to the task.
So well played by LDLC, opening default, but just putting a lot more emphasis on A that time around. You could see them rotate their players from B pretty early, get up mid-slope, really attack it, really make the smokes were down on door and balcony to really prevent the rotations from having an effect, isolating those A players, and just being able to out-frag their opponent this time around. Something they haven't really been able to do a whole heck of a lot in this map, and they really need to make sure they win out this half. I mean, you're really setting yourself up for failure if you're not able to at least get the 5 rounds out of this. I mean, it's obviously the best case scenario now. I think that if you give Fnatic Academy a round or 2 more, I think it's just too much to deal with at that point. I mean, we know that Fnatic Academy are more than capable on their own T side of making things happen.
I will say that LDLC's CT sides across Cash and Overpass did look to be superior to T side, but once again, Cobblestone is just that kind of map that lends to more T aggression. It lends to the breakdown of the economy on the CT side. So certainly would agree, 10-5 is a must-have halftime scoreline now for LDLC. Now, Molotov not quite deep enough to deal with Jaywalkings, and, well, him and Golden are going to pick up frags. In fact, it was Golden, pardon me, that was struggling a little bit on long. The end result is the same. Mistu and Existence out of nowhere pick up kills. Mistu's down to just 1 health. But they still haven't uprooted Pleasant, so they can't get on the B site just yet. They're going to be going for the rotation.
Yeah, Existence having control connector is so dangerous to deal with, and now Jay's Walkings has to just kind of back up into the mid slope. He loses the fight. There's still one down there. It's going to be Bot, and he takes Existence down, but now he has 2 Terrors to deal with coming from middle. But so far, he's done a good job to at least set up a favorable 1v1 for Pleasant, who has the health advantage. He's on the flank. Will Mistu be able to catch him? No, he will not, and that's the 11th round for Fnatic Academy. And that has to be a big slap in the face to LDLC. You finally get around on the board, only to follow it up with a round loss, and Fnatic Academy taking the lead a bit further.
I was beginning to believe, because it was Mistu, if you cast your mind back to that 1v1 on B, where he landed the one tap and he had like 15, 16 health left. So it's kind of similar in some aspects, but Botten not quite able to get the 3K. Would have been very nicely done if he did. LDLC all in on this round, of course. Last round of the half. Of the last map of this best of 3. Golden with the UMP up close. He's going to deliver one frag, and XMS gets sandwiched in from Pleasant. Karis is going to try and carry Fnatic to another round of victory, and 12-3 surely will not be good enough. Alex, who was so close yet so far from a beautiful clutch earlier with a P250, has another opportunity to strike fear in the hearts of Fnatic Academy. A lot of time on the clock still, but he's being aggressed on. There's a double take onto the side. He's been tagged up, he's somehow still alive, but Jay's Walkings puts him down. 12-3 halftime scoreline. I simply did not see that coming.
No, I really would have had the LDLC to pose a bit more of a threat. I mean, sure, we talked about Fnatic Academy being, you know, a team that's very comfortable playing Cobblestone, but you can't ever expect them to get that massive a lead from the CT side of the map, especially when you consider, you know, how deep LDLC's playbook can be on this map, how fine-tuned their executes can really be, how good they are at trading their way into things, but they never really just got the ball rolling here. I mean, Toynu absolutely shut down, never really got too much going with the AWP at all. He pretty much lost all of his op duels against Jay Walkings, or never really found picks. You know, Existence, we talked about how throughout this tournament he's played very well. This map, he's been a lot more quiet. Meanwhile, you have like the rifles of Fnatic Academy really coming together. Like Botten had a great game, Golden doing some work. Like they're really feeling it right now, and I think that they're going to take this one now.
2 memes in one, Easy and Rip. Just going ham. Yeah, I agree though. I mean, it looks like Fnatic Academy will be able to go over the finish line. It's just a matter of time. I mean, maybe LDLC have the craziest of comebacks lined up for us. They're just going to pull rounds out their backside, but they have to win this pistol. This pistol is of paramount importance if they want any chance of getting back into this. So let's see, LDLC, what do you have in store? They've got no nades, no kits. It's full on Kevlar, it's full on P2000 and 4 USPs.
You see XMS going for a peek early here at A Hall, see if there's anybody at middle, but no one really showing themselves. Meanwhile, we do have a duel going down at Long B. It's going to be Mistu fighting it out here, taking a lot of damage, down to 5 HP, forced to kind of give up his position.
Mistu very low. Fnatic Academy aren't going to be following up behind that. Smoke and 2 flashes in the hands of Golden. Very tense atmosphere for LDLC, knowing so much rests on this round. It's been a grueling affair, and XMS is the first player to come in with a kill, and it's on to Jay's Walkings, who has been one of the main men for Fnatic Academy. So that's one hell of a kill to land. But the weakened Mistu could be targeted by Karis. The beauty of the USP, though, is even on 5 health, if he lands that one tap, it doesn't matter. He can still escape.
Yeah, that's what he's going to be hoping for here. Fnatic Academy is certainly gathering up in Long B. 4 players here now. They're starting to set up their final flashes and smokes to see if they can take one last-ditch effort at taking this round into their favor. And here comes the push.
Mistu, what? How? What is happening here, Mistu? How does he live through all of that carnage? And LDLC don't drop a single player. Okay.
Unreal. He was definitely given a lot of extra time to find the mark there. The first few shots didn't really land. This duel got real awkward real quickly, but in the end, he's able to deliver, even on low HP with the USP, just dodging bullets like Neo in the Matrix or something like that, and coming up with the frags. And so that at least gives LDLC something to work with, or at least still a chance for them in this game. That was a necessity, as you said. Like, that's step 1 in the long list of things they have to check off to get back into this one.
Next MS going in. Oh, it's too easy with the FAMAS. Line him up, knock him down. Dominoes falling. Elsewhere on the map, though, Karas is keeping Fnatic Academy in this round.
Dangerous positioning for Karas right now. He's in connector with an M4 and head armor.
Oh, he's made noise, though. You better believe Alex has heard that. So he goes from a position where he could get the drop on one of these players to actually out into a more standard orthodox position. But no, he's going to come through with a kill into existence. Mistu rotating around the back. And Karas has made treks onto the site. Alex is using that smoke. It's currently his best friend. That nade does so much damage onto Karas, knocking Botten as well, who is on the site itself, planting the bomb. Headshot delivered, first class by Karas onto Alex, leaving Mistu in a 1-on-2. LDLC desperately need this round. There's the first one. Karas is just a bullet away from death. Mistu should be odds-on favorite to take this round, and there we go. He does pick it up. But losing 4 players in that round and conceding a bomb plant is not good enough for LDLC.
Yeah, they definitely broke a sweat on that one. When you saw Karas get in that position and connected with the M4, I mean, that really just turned the round on its head. It made it so difficult for LDLC. I mean, those are rounds you really should be knocking away with these, especially considering how XMS opened the round with those 3 kills with FAMAS like that. I mean, they had such a quick 5-on-2, and how much it sprawled out of control. It didn't quite hit the breaking point, though, as LDLC will get that 5th round, but it does make it a little bit harmful because now your economy is not as good as you hoped it would be going into your opening gun rounds.
Hence the SMG buys, not just because that's all they can afford, but also if they can farm through Fnatic, that somewhat mitigates that previous round and those mistakes. Fnatic, I thought they may have half a mind to force buy. I mean, sometimes you'd see teams force buy knowing that the enemy is weakened, they can sense blood in the water, but instead they go for a more passive buy. Not quite as all in as I expected. Playing the longer haul, the longer game, which is fair enough. I think that's still definitely a worthwhile endeavor. XMS with the M4 once again, showing us why he is so revered. He will eventually meet his demise, but existence with 2, make that a 3rd with a FAMAS. And, well, all those issues from the previous round pretty much have been filled in, only losing 1 player.
And yeah, getting XMS heated up is definitely big. He was having a little bit more of a quiet game compared to what you're used to, and so now he's starting to put some numbers on the board. He's one of the key riflers for this team. He's integral to that A defense. And so, yeah, these are like the easier rounds, but at least it's maybe helping to build up a little bit of confidence because they still have a long road to travel to tie this thing back up and to give themselves a chance to actually get into the semifinals for themselves rather than allowing Fnatic Academy through. Because, again, we haven't really had any like real major upsets in this tournament, but I think this would be, you know, our first upset of the event if, in fact, Fnatic Academy did move on over LDLC, I think, in some people's eyes.
I mean, I said yesterday, I felt like LDLC were my dark horses to take the whole thing, if not for Heroic and Flipside, but hold that thought for a second, because Twanu and Mistu are both getting themselves kills. LDLC can still battle back from this deficit. We've seen crazier things in Counter-Strike. Pleston down to just the 1 health. Golden has 71 more to play with for Fnatic Academy. And Alex playing close range with the MP7, where it is at its most destructive. 2 kills for him. LDLC, again, just losing 1 player. This is looking a lot better. Still not out of the woods just yet. They face a pretty formidable gap of rounds.
And they still certainly have a few more to go before they get this in the striking distance, but they're slowly but surely getting there. So you are going to see Fnatic Academy just on Tech 9s and armor. Not much utility to work with at all, so this is definitely a great opportunity for LDLC to keep edging closer towards the tie, but we're going to see a big flood on to drop down. Alex, though, able to back away, doesn't get overwhelmed, but these picks are coming in onto the B-bomb site now. This is actually starting to get a little bit scary, but bless his heart runs right to Alex's Molotov. And now there are only a couple of members left.
Again, though, in a round that Fnatic Academy looked like they were destined to fail, they've got a real outside shot at maybe making something stick. Even just more weapons being taken away from LDLC could be worth its weight in gold. Karas with the M4 does just catch a glimpse of existence, starting up and down, connects the headshot. Time on his side for a while. But it will start to become an enemy if he doesn't get a move on.
The problem is where the bomb is down at, he doesn't really have many options. Eventually he has to push his way into the site and reclaim this, and so that's where LDLC can just kind of sit together, hold angles. Even if he gets the bomb and gets into the site, that's fine. They can still use their nade and incendiary on Toynu to kind of push him out, maybe even prevent the bomb plant from going down if you throw it just at the right time as he begins to lay the bomb down. And so there is the bomb grab by Karas. Still 30 seconds left. He's going to work his way into the site any moment now, and he should be going for the plant in just a moment.
And he will get it. But clearly LDLC weren't entirely sure where the bomb had been dropped, judging by their positions. But they have an incendiary to play with, and it's not even required. I was going to say they have an incendiary, so just toss it onto the site. The round is theirs. Bullets will also do the trick. Another round for LDLC. Again, though, they do take casualties.
Surely do, but with that bomb plant from Cars, that's going to give them a little bit extra bank to work with here. Now we can perhaps begin to see them start working their game plan on the T side. I think we will probably see them be a bit more assertive than LDLC was. LDLC didn't really go to the executes. They were much more default, much more slower pace. I would imagine Fnatic Academy are going to be one of the teams where you're expecting to like do the faster pace hits, like, you know, stack up and just rush into the B bomb side, or perhaps the Swarm A. You know, I think that you're just going to see a faster speed of game here from Fnatic Academy.
The stunning statistic there, as they just got brought up the scoreboard, is that Twanu is rock bottom of the scoreboard with 6 and 15. This is a guy that typically is at the forefront of LDLC's success. He's the guy that is pushing the aggression with the AWP, is landing a whole bunch of frags, and he's having an eerily quiet game.
And that can't continue. I mean, he's a key piece to the B side of the map. Like, while XMS is like one of the big defenders on the A side of the map, Toinu is the guy they rely upon to really shut down B executes with this op, you know, playing chicken coop, playing behind the statue. He's one of those oppers that is very B heavy, not like an A rotator like some other teams use. So he certainly is going to have to find his form. If this comeback is to continue, he's going to have to be a key part of it.
They can't just rest on XMS to go ham with the M4. Bomb retrieved. 50 seconds left for Fnatic Academy to make a move. Very much split across the map, but it seems like the general consensus is an A hit as they are congregating around mid. Karas taking the initiative once more for his team. Does get taken out, but Existence eats a lot of damage. XMS is going to get the easiest kill ever. I think he saw the barrel of the AWP sticking through the smoke, but Jay's walking still lands the shot somehow, some way. Time is running scarce. It's running very thin indeed at this stage, and so is health. 10 for gold and 12 for his AWPer. Still will force their way through to the site. Existence seems to still think that someone's mid. I think Jay's walking actually missed his shot. This is such a sloppy round for LDLC, especially if they end up losing this as such an important part of the map. But Twanu and Mistu will salvage.
Yeah, good plays there from Existence and XMS. They get 3 kills between them. They defended the A side quite well, particularly Existence being able to find 2 kills, stay alive, get inside the site, buy time for the rotate. Definitely well handled. And so now all of a sudden that massive lead that Fnatic Academy had is just rapidly being eradicated. I mean, they're already now 4 rounds away from having LDLC, in fact, tie this thing up 12-all. And it looks like they are going to be taking a bit of a pause here. Not a bad idea. You want to go ahead and talk things through now before things start getting out of hand.
Is there a specific avenue that you'd like to see Fnatic Academy aggress more on here, that you can maybe see a weakness in LDLC's defense?
I mean, I haven't seen too much of the defense just yet, to be quite honest. Particularly, we haven't really seen anything on the B side of the map just yet, at least not a full gun round with full utility from Fnatic Academy. I think with Toinu having a rough game and with him being such a key part of that B defense with the AWP, maybe you go after him. Maybe you see, okay, this guy isn't having a good game. We know he likes to play B. Maybe we're going to go ahead, flush him out, like throw a Molotov in chicken coop, like deny some of the comfortable spots he might want to hold angles from and see if you can't chase him down and trade out. I mean, some of the key riflers on this team are going to be guys like Pleasant, who, you know, is playing off the platform. You know, get him involved, get Botan out there, get these guys just out there trade fragging, you know, pick up the pace. I think that's something that maybe they could go to. I mean, again, when I've watched Fnatic Academy play this map in the past, you know, at ESWC and such, I noticed that they definitely did like to be fairly aggressive. You know, they really did like to put those fast executes in. So I think that that's something they could certainly think about. But in reality, in a situation like this, it's hard to always know what the perfect solution is. I mean, certainly, though, you could try something different, spice things up a bit.
And of course, that's exactly what they've taken a timeout for, to give them more time to try and figure out, okay, where do we go from here? Maybe we'll see more aggressive B hits. It could definitely be a possibility. At the same time, though, they've had quite a lot of success on A. I mean, I know they haven't been necessarily getting rounds, but they've been taking frags down. It's been typically the end portion of the round that's been letting them down quite a bit. They are going to be having AKs into this round with a healthy dosage of grenades to go alongside them. And let's have a look as the action resumes in the final map in this best of 3. LDLC on the back foot, but they have been since half-time and are still in this.
So you can definitely see that they shifted way more to a focus on B. They only have Botan kind of floating out here towards middle, and he's by himself. He doesn't have that extra player trying to focus on getting control of A Hall. So definitely Fnatic Academy are looking to really force the issue on B. You know, waiting out some of these nades, of course, from LDLC. Look at this push, though, from Mistu. He's getting deep inside long B. Gets caught by Plesson, though. That's exactly what Fnatic Academy wants.
Oh, Twanu's grenade could do quite a bit of damage. Plesson down to 50. He's still going to keep his sights trained on the platform. So maybe they have suggested, well, Twanu's the weak link. Let's try and exploit them. The thing is, we saw on Cash that he was very quiet. Then he had 2 massive rounds, and instantly his confidence builded to a pretty scary point. Twanu, there's one. Looking for another kill. It's going to land it. Nice flick, but finally goes down. And now the floodgates have opened on B. Problem for Plesson and Jace walking. So they only got the 2 of them to really work off. And that's not going to be enough. LDLC pull it back, and they have now hit double digits.
Yeah, like the thought process there. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Fnatic Academy certainly seemed to have a good idea about what to do, and they even get the opening pick because of Mistu's aggression on the platform. But Toynu, he definitely holds his own here. Even with all the pressure coming in, he's able to find the shots. There's no real flash, though, and they seemed like they were a little bit too stagnant. You know, you had one guy kind of go out and die to Toynu, then another guy comes up later. You're giving him kind of 1v1s. You weren't really overwhelming him. And then Alex just being able to kind of ninja his way through the smoke and come up behind them and get on the platform is always going to be difficult to read. So again, a good initial plan. They just didn't execute it as well as they probably could have. And so now you see LDLC at 10-12. They do have the economic advantage in a big way. And XMS has already taken a casualty here. Botan down.
LDLC with existence this time around, the Rifle King. Fnatic Academy have been thinned out once again to Karis and Golden. It's hard to see what they can get done from this. It does seem like they've run out of ideas, maybe lack a bit of inspiration in which they can push through. This is why it's tough to really, you know, ever count LDLC out. They are the kind of team that can just get this second gust of wind out of nowhere.
Yeah, especially even when a guy like Toynu has had a rough game. I mean, when he was tested on the CT side with the op, he delivered. I mean, he got the kills he needed. So despite, you know, having a rough KD ratio, I mean, those 2 kills that he got on the B in the previous round were massive. It really kind of keeps the train going for LDLC, who are inching their way closer to tying this thing up. And so the domination that Fnatic Academy were enjoying for quite some time is all but gone at this point.
Oh, yeah, that's a distant memory now. Now they have new memories. Now they have new terror and insecurities to deal with. They have been completely fruitless on their T side. And Mistu is going to continue the trend. Not a single player fell for LDLC. Now just 1 round behind, breathing down the necks of Fnatic Academy.
Yeah, it's definitely gotten quite stressful, you'd have to imagine, for Fnatic Academy. They've seen all their hard work start to topple over. But they are going to be onto a full buy here. They're going to have Jaywalkings with the op again on the T side. And let him go to work here on the B platform, see if anyone's going to get aggressive. As we have seen a couple of times here. So it's certainly not out of the question. But Toynu looking to do a counter boost here inside the drop room. Not going to spot anything, though. But we might see in a second here Cars take a peek, and so they might be able to find one. Nope, not going to be able to do so, but does get away.
Yeah, Twanu caught a glimpse of a couple players just for a split second. Definitely in favor of him taking the shot and then piecing out of that. With an open drop zone, definitely not a match made in heaven. B-plat, certainly more the case, and a better fit for the AWPer. Alex comes out second best in that trade. A bit unfortunate, really, as Crosshair was in the right place, but Golden with 16 health.
And look at this early rotate from LDLC. They've left XMS alone on the A side of the map, so they're definitely committed to trying to hold the ground at B, but you can see Fnatic Academy are starting to shift their focus here. They are beginning to work over towards middle, so XMS is certainly going to be tested, and Mistu is going to have to make a rotation soon here to aid him. You'd imagine, as here comes the push up mid-slope into danger. So Fnatic Academy getting some A-side control now. No one budging from LDLC. This is going to get rather tense. Smoke comes out, XMS completely isolated.
Time is such a huge factor as well. Any kill at this stage is so important. Mistu could be the last linchpin for LDLC. He's still alive, he's still kicking, but Golden will shower on him from headshot. And Mistu gets taken out.
So there you have it. Fnatic Academy finally putting a round on the board after a serious drought. They had lost so many rounds in a row, but they finally held LDLC off, just being able to read the mid round quite well, getting into A, isolating XMS, taking him down, trading their way in. So they will maintain the lead. Double op set up the win for LDLC, so Toinu will still have his op over towards the B side of the map, but now we're also going to see one brandished by Existence, who is getting aggressive on the A halls. He's definitely going to deny that A control and be able to kind of give the hint that they're likely focused at B for now. And because of that, XMS is able to even rotate into connector. So this is definitely allowing LDLC to kind of bolster up their B defense a bit more early on, thanks to this information that Existence is gaining.
And of course, that was Fnatic Academy's first T round after 8 in a row to LDLC. So the curse has been lifted. For how long is yet to be seen. The double up setup could yield so much power for LDLC, but if they get caught lacking, it could be to their demise, as it has been so often so far in this tournament. Existence close range, Botton showing his hand a little bit early, but again, it's all about the fake, because the rest of his team are going to be going towards the B side, and already Golden has made some inroads on drop zones. They have this two-pronged attack. Golden's now gone down with Mistu, and it's falling flat once again. Botton is going to land a frag on the other side of the map. It really doesn't matter that much, though, because Twanu is still putting down players with authority, and they can see the barrel of Jace Walking's AWP peeking through, and Twanu will dispatch of him. LDLC break back once more. Fnatic Academy 13-12.
And again, I like the idea for Fnatic Academy. I mean, look at how much Botton was able to create pressure just by himself only on the A side of the map. He definitely pulled XMS back into the A side of the map. He allowed his team to have a numbers advantage going into B, but they just couldn't get in. I mean, Toinu doing some great work with the op here. The B defense has definitely been holding on very well for LDLC, and so now, once again, they're knocking at the door of tying this thing up, and Fnatic Academy on just upgraded pistols really to work with. Once again, they're trying to do something a bit quicker over here towards drop-down room and B platform, but Alex is going to have none of it, getting the opening frag on the Karis.
Ooh, Alex, that is dangerous. And even if he lands a frag, there's a chance that the trade comes right back in. So that peak not really helping the rest of his team. They do have Twanu, who has proven time and time again to be quite the boss when it comes to the B side. And so it doesn't matter a great deal. The rest of LDLC will dig Alex out of that hole all even. And this is where Fnatic Academy must have that horrible feeling at the pit of their stomach that they have let a huge advantage disintegrate.
Because the thing is, they already took their timeout well early on. They took their timeout then because they wanted to prevent what's happening from happening. But now that it's happened, they don't have another timeout to go to try to see what can we do to stop this from continuing. Like, how do we get back into the game? Sure, you had that one round the A-bomb site where you kind of held off LDLC for a brief moment. But now that time has passed, and now LDLC, they've tied it up, and they have a huge advantage. Just, again, a big B push trying to come out here. But Toinu, he's done well just to kind of sit comfortably back there in the chicken coop with the op and dispatch of the frags, and that's something that Fnatic Academy are going to have to deal with in their next gun round.
Yeah, whereas before, it's like maybe isolate Twanu and try and just apply the pressure because he's not having a good game. Now he is. Now he is firing on all cylinders. He is landing a load of frags. Existence runs out of bullets, does have his sidearm to at least take one kill down with him. It's a 3-on-2, but no Kevlar for either Jace Walkings or Botton, so it's not looking particularly great, albeit in terms of manpower. It's not hugely against Fnatic Academy.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a couple of M4s, and they have control of Connector, which, again, can be difficult to deal with, but XMS is so far up to the task as he's been able to find Jay Walkings, and there he will just stamp them out. And that's going to be LDLC taking the lead. They have marched very far. Remember, these guys were down 12-3 at one point. Got 8 rounds in a row to get close, and now they've been able to put together another 3 to make it a lead for LDLC.
The crazy statistic is this is the first time that LDLC have been in a lead this entire game, and it comes through in the 27th round, the start of the 28th round. They've constantly been behind. They were 5-0 behind, they were 5-2 behind, they were then 9-2 behind, and then 12-3 behind. And since then, it's been all LDLC on their CT side. Fnatic Academy, they are on the brink of defeat.
And now they've gone to a 1-4A setup, so this time around they're going to look for more success at A. That's the hope. They did have a big round here not so long ago. They're looking to see if they can't repeat that. And Kara so far is helping that along. He's been able to find XMS very early on to a quick 5-on-4 with still plenty of time to work with if you're Fnatic Academy. So this is where things get a little bit dicey for LDLC because it makes rotating harder. Look at this Golden able to get through the drop-down room and backstab Alex, so it gets even worse now for LDLC. Fnatic Academy, they're not done yet. This is a big round, and Existence doesn't even get a bullet off. Wow, this is a crushing blow to LDLC. This was just a perfect round for Fnatic Academy. They'll tie it right back up.
Again, though, I do wonder if Fnatic Academy can emulate this same round again. I feel like LDLC will adapt to it. I'm not saying it's necessarily a one-off, but it certainly feels like LDLC won't be too dissuaded, won't be in too much of a panic.
Right.
But it was a great round for Fnatic Academy. There's no turning that around. They certainly wrecked right through LDLC. I think a lot of that comes down to Golden, though. His one kill that he gets in Connector sets up that play beautifully.
Absolutely. No doubt about it that he was key to that round going in favor of Fnatic Academy. As this is getting down to the wire, man. Most of our games have, it feels like. I feel like every single game that we've done together, we've been fortunate enough to have really tight races. And this is for all of the money right now. I mean, this is to actually get into the prize money if they can, in fact, break through, get into the semifinals. That is the goal here.
The only map that we've casted so far in this event that didn't go close was the 16-8 pounding that Fnatic Academy took in the previous map of Overpass. But I was originally stoked for them that they're able to dust that off and come back even stronger. But LDLC, what a tenacious bunch of players these guys are.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely just holding on tooth and nail to try to see if they can't still find a way into the semis. They were the favorite coming into the series, but Fnatic Academy has done well to show that they are a true challenger. And now we do see Fnatic Academy slowing things down. Again, putting a little bit of extra effort over towards middle and A, but definitely not looking to force anything early on this time around. Looking to be a bit more cautious.
Yeah, and you can see as well that LDLC have bolstered up that connector a little bit more, with Existence actually playing more on the door side. He's now thought better of that decision and scurries across to long. They also had Alex, who was in drop zone. And now gone back to more of a standard setup. Existence trying to watch out on mid as the smoke has covered the mid entrance from the T's perspective. Boost up onto long. 50 seconds in which Fnatic Academy have to make some serious inroads onto what looks to be the B site.
Yeah, it does seem to be the case. You saw some smokes being thrown from middle to try to set up the B execute here, and they're certainly gathering up at long B. You do see Golden starting to work up mid slope. He wants to see if he can hold these two guys in place, and if anything, maybe pull a rotator, get into connector himself, and get another angle. This is going to get dangerous for Mistu here. He's had a lot of responsibility, and he's all alone. He's dancing around the smoke. He does find one kill in the bomb down, but what can they do here?
Twano doesn't have the freedom now to peek as much as he'd like to. Typically, he's had a second player there with him. Now that XMS has helped him out and bolstered this defense, he can now start to peek once more. He's taking a bit of damage through the coop and finally lands a frag onto his target of Bottom. 15-14, Fnatic Academy. They're all out of lifelines now. It's do or die.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing pretty cool tactics, but they're just not finding the key frags that they need. LDLC, they're able to weather the storm on that B side of the map, and now they're at map point. So Fnatic Academy, their only hopes now is to force an overtime here in map 3 and see if they can't survive a bit longer and challenge still for that semifinal slot. But if this goes to LDLC, they'll be the ones to move on. Fnatic Academy will be walking away eliminated.
Tech9, UMP, Galil. None of them necessarily the primary weapons that you want to be using in this kind of a scenario, but it's all they have. They have to make the most of it. Bottom, Pleston, and Karas. Those wielding the aforementioned weapons. Jay's Walking and Golden, the two players I'd say that have performed the best so far on Cobblestone, will have the AK-47s, understandably.
definitely say they want to do some type of drop A split here. They're using some nades to try to push out players who are putting attention on the drop down room so they can try to get into connector. They have three players coming up, but XMS, look at this spot. Will they check this? It looks like so far no one else gets a kill. That's going to even pull their attention even more. XMS is still just hiding out here.
This is so huge. Oh no, XMS, he's whiffed his chance. I thought he was just going to sit there for ages until the execution came onto the side. Did show his hand a bit early, but it doesn't seem to matter a great deal. Fnatic Academy have to hope that Golden and Bottom have something crazy in store, but it's not going to happen. LDLC go from 12-3 to 16-14 and take this best of 3. Heartbreaking for Fnatic Academy, but they can hold their heads high.
Yeah, they certainly have been, making some surprising results here. They made a splash in the scene, so to speak. Some big results at ESWC, for example, but here up against LDLC, they come up just a little bit short. They had the huge lead, but LDLC marches it all the way back, and they take it 16-14. That round, big plays there from Alex NextMX to hold them off. And so LDLC, they'll be meeting Flipside tomorrow in one of our semifinals.
Well, we went down to the wire. LDLC looked like they were going to cruise past Fnatic Academy after that overpass performance, but Fnatic Academy had other ideas. It's hard to know what's going on inside the head of Fnatic right now. They've got to be distraught after being so close. 12-3, you don't expect to lose from that kind of a halftime scoreline on Cobblestone.
No, absolutely not, especially when you're getting it from the CT side. I mean, we know how this map is usually swayed for the terrorists, and so when you get a big 12-3 half from your CT side, you think, okay, I'm well set up to do this, especially given what we've seen out of Fnatic Academy in the past. Remember, this is a team that were beating Heroic and Rogue and such at ESWC, and they were having good aggressive T-sides that were amounting to pretty successful halves, but they just didn't find any of it here, unfortunately.
No, certainly not. So they will progress through to Flipside. LDLC, they didn't look like they were firing all cylinders to me. Seems like there were a couple of issues, especially on their T side of Cobblestone. That's going to have to get fixed pretty soon if they want to play that tomorrow against Flipside. But other than that, their overpass looked very strong, as we expected. Cash was kind of iffy, I suppose, but they still got the job done.
Yeah, indeed. At the end of the day, they did what was required to move on to the semifinals. Again, they will be meeting Flipside. We have Heroic sitting in the other semifinal, waiting to play, of course, against the winner of Big and Vega Squadron, which will be coming up shortly. But yeah, again, congrats to LDLC for moving on to the playoffs. I think that they needed that, right? I mean, I think it would have been massively disappointing if they walked out with the group stage elimination, given that they were one of the favorites to make it to the playoffs. Again, hats off to Fnatic Academy. They did a fantastic job. Wasn't quite enough for this tournament, but certainly still some young players to keep an eye on going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's hear what they have to say on the stage. Pala has an interview for us.
Thanks very much, Vince. Congratulations, Mister. It's the first time we've spoken. That was a close matchup. It was very tense down to the wire. How did you pull out the victory?
I mean, the secret is to stay calm. Even when we were like extremely dominated, we stayed calm and we found out the solution on Cobble, and that's it. Just hitting the shots.
Was it surprising, the performance that Fnatic Academy provided against you guys? Because it did look like they were relatively comfortable in that matchup. And they, I would argue, many would argue, don't have as much experience as your team.
Yeah, we knew that each of Fnatic player, they're playing FPL all the day, so we knew that they will put like some hard headshot on us. So yeah, that's it. We knew that they are strong player individually and you need to stay as a team and play together.
Talking about a more general topic, how would you say you guys rank up in terms of the French scene compared to the other guys? I know it's a bit of a tricky question, but I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it, you know, that's a French secret.
Okay, fair enough. But it does look like you guys are really, like, you know, improving your performances each tournament that you attend, and so congratulations on that. And talking about that, your next challenge is going to be Flipside tomorrow. So how do you feel about that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, this matchup, it's our favorite status. You know, we are the underdogs coming into this matchup, so we're gonna play fearless, stressless, and play our game and just hitting the shots like we did on the 2 last map against Fnatic.
All right, well, I think that is, I'm satisfied for now. Do you have any final words that you'd like to say to any fans out there, everyone in the crowd?
Yeah, thanks for all the support, and yeah, see you tomorrow.
Awesome, thank you so much for that, Mr. I really appreciate it, and we will see you tomorrow. Now, everybody watching, do not go anywhere. We have one more best of 3 coming today. It's going to be Big versus Vega. I'm sure the crowd in attendance here are very excited to see the German team descend upon the stage one more time. thank you so much. And we will head back now to Red Eye and the guys on the desk.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, the crowd, the partisan crowd here, all looking forward to our next match of Big versus Vegas Squadron. Of course, we're going to break things down here at the desk with Sponge and with Lurpis once more. What do you make of that one?
Should have been over in 2.
Should have been.
Jay-Z walking, getting that 3v1 on one of the end rounds of Cache was a bit heartbreaking for LDLC. They should have closed that out. But I think Fnatic Academy showed, they're not just aim stars. They actually played cohesively as a unit. Still don't have that depth and maybe that strategic knowledge they need. Closing out the end of that Cobble game should have been easy for them, but they kept doing a lot of mixed buys, and I know you're not happy about that.
No, I mean, basically what happened is, like you said, LDLC should have won in 2, but then Fnatic should have actually won in 3, the way the game was going. So, I mean, LDLC's Cobble CT side, they're just going to have to figure a lot of things out for tomorrow if they want to play that. Misty won 2 clutches that sort of kept them afloat. Without those rounds, they're in trouble on that game. And I mean, Fnatic they just had nothing on the terrorist side. They kept running that 1B hit where the timing was off by at least 5 seconds. So the idea when you're attacking B is you want to attack the player playing by fountain or in the site by coming out of the platform and the drop area at the same time. So the CTs have to look at 2 different places. Now, what Fnatic was doing is they would send their drop guy to death. Their long players would be somewhere towards the beginning of long, and then they would see, oh, our teammate died, we have to rush now. And then they would run through the smoke, and basically Toinu would just sit in the back of B area and basically just get free op kills. It's literally, he didn't even have to move. He just stood there and just clicked on people. Just click, click, another round.
My kind of AWPing.
And of course, I already signed up Fnatic Academy to the Uncle Henry G's economic school because they just don't know how to manage money. I mean, these guys, even if they won this tournament, they would blow the money in 2 days because they just don't know how to manage money.
Keep spending, and it hurt them there.
It did.
So I just want to quickly talk about the T side of LDLC on Cobble as well.
Let's show some highlights while we're doing that. And
pretty horrific,
you can see some of it,
Only 3 rounds. Now, the issue is, if you're going to have set executes and you're going to rely on that, then that means your AWPer isn't going to get a lot done. And Toinu didn't get a lot done on the T side of Cobblestone. So they might need to... I saw them doing more defaults today than what they were doing yesterday. But they still need to have more diversity in the way they're going to run their executes. You can't just have the one execute and run it the same way. You need to have fakes from it or maybe different timings for it. And it didn't look like they had the depth that I was giving them credit for in the pre-show.
To be honest, the biggest problem I had with that was the very first gun round, LDLC ran the same exact tactic that they were running all of yesterday. So if all of yesterday you rely on one single tactic, maybe don't bring that up in the first gun round. Because if Fnatic Academy watched you at all, that's the one thing they have seen. So maybe just, mix that up a little bit. I would not have expected such a fundamental mistake from Existence unless he just literally thought the Fnatic Academy would go the other way and overthink
double
it. Sort
mind game.
No, exactly. So that sort of thing. But probably not worth the risk, I don't think.
Another thing to note was the CT pistols for LDLC on overpassing Cache were very aggressive. I don't know if that's something which they just did especially for Fnatic Academy or if it was something that they normally do because I haven't watched too many of their matches, but I like the take on it because it puts the pressure on the Ts, and you see a lot of Ts now doing default holds to kind of get in the information on the pistol and go from there. You can always find a kill, especially if you're a pack with USPs, which is so powerful, and I like that move, but he's going to have to adjust yet again for tomorrow because you can't go in doing the same cookie cutter stuff. You need to be more dynamic.
Yeah, we've seen that a number of times from Existence in the past, and specifically with this team as well, is he stacks 5 somewhere. Cash was at a 5-stack mid pistols, and that didn't work out either, but he's quite happy to, go along and try something a bit different. It's quite fun.
It's spicy.
Because the bonus is if 3 walk out, they've got 3 guns and 3 deaths, and then there's 5v2. So, we're going to take a look at the statistics of the entire series for you and just wrap things up right now. As you can see on the top half of the scoreboard, XMS with 65 big kills, and at the bottom, Bottom with 66 topping the scoreboard.
Not a
Fnatic.
Not a bad performance for anyone, actually. It's
no, it wasn't
fairly
anything,
even
was there?
across the board.
Wasn't anything where you could say someone's had a poor game. I mean, Jay-Z Walkings, you look at the score and you think, ooh, he's not really done that much. But actually, when you watch him in the game, he was holding very key positions.
He had plenty of impact.
And he did have some massive impact kills at some point.
The problem is they really didn't use his opping at all on Cobble T side either. That's where he could have potentially really made a difference getting some picks there. But he really wasn't utilized properly. And that could be something where obviously he's still a stand-in to the team. We're not sure how much practice they have had, so that maybe they just need more time to integrate him better onto the team, assuming he actually stays on the team and it's not just a temporary thing.
Another LDLC positive, if anybody out there wants to watch how to do two-player setups on the A-bomb side, on the CT side of Cobble, watch Existence with his buddy at A, I forget who it was.
XMS.
That's the one. They play together a lot.
But when you do boost him up on the back hall, maybe don't smoke off the stairs so you don't scare the terrorists from walking his cross. That was the only thing. But yeah, you're right. They did play very well together. It's a lot of dynamic setups, and that's sort of the thing you need to keep doing to keep the terrorists guessing.
All right, thank you very much, gents. Just a quick reminder for you as well at home, and a big thank you to our sponsors, of course, here at the DreamHack Astro Open, to Astro and, of course, Monster Energy and Zowie. Your support is very welcome, and we thank you for it. Also, a reminder for you of the social media. You can send us your tweets or Facebook posts or whatever one you want, even a little bit of Snapchat on there as well, via all the usual channels at the bottom of your screen, and include the hashtag #DHOpen if you're going to use Twitter. We're headed for a break night right now, but when we come back, the partisan German crowd have something big to cheer after the break.